Hello and welcome back to Strongwoman High's Life is a Mishmash. Today we have very special guest. We have natural strongest woman in the world, Rosslyn Cole, joining us on the pod. How are you, Rosslyn?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. It's a pleasure to have you on. Do you want to give everybody a little bit of an elevator pitch introduction to you and what you're all about?
Sure. Yeah. So I am Rosslyn Cole. I am the current natural world's strongest woman in the open category, and also as of 2 weeks ago, I am now UK and Ireland's strongest natural woman in the open category as well.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for just now.
And you've got the world record, the
I
natural
do.
world record
Yes,
actually.
I am the current world record holder in the natural federation for log press with 100 kilos. So yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's so good. What do you do outside of strongman then? Give us a little bit of background.
So day to day, my job, I'm a civil servant. I work for the Scottish Government, which is probably as boring as it sounds. I remember after I'd done my world record with the log, Martin was asking me like on the mic, like, Rosslyn, what do you do outside of work? And I was like, yeah, so I work for the Scottish Government. I'm a civil servant. He's like, not gonna lie, that sounds terrible. And I was like, yeah, sure. Kind of, it's not very exciting.
Uh,
So yes, very desk based, very much like 9 to 5, classic 9 to 5. So train outside of that. And then basically my entire personality outside of work is the gym, and it's kind of my personality at work as well. So that's basically all I do. But yeah, so that's basically me outside of the gym is I'm at a desk 9 to 5, and then I'm in the gym pretty much the rest of the time.
nice. Proper. We love it. We love an all consuming hobby here though, don't we? We love an all consuming hobby. Do you not find it hard when you're at work though and you're like walking around, you're like, I'm stronger than all of you. Like anyone brings you a problem and you're like, shut up, I'm way stronger than
I'm
you.
too strong for this. Yeah, I was joking with my colleagues like after Worlds last year. They're like, "Oh, you just need to put it in your email signature. Just be like World's Strongest Women." But, like, I don't care. World's Strongest Women.
Yeah.
Just sign it off. Sign all your emails like that. But yeah, it's quite funny. Like I think because my job is very much it's very different to like my strong women stuff. Like when people find
Yeah.
out, they're like, wow, that's just they can't kind of quite wrap their head around it. They're like, so what does this mean? What do you do? Like explain it to
Yeah.
me. So that is quite funny trying to explain what I do in this
Mm.
very kind of corporate environment to people being like, yeah, so I just lift really heavy, odd shape stuff
Yeah.
outside of here. Yeah, that's me.
I find it sometimes so demoralizing though because people don't get it at all, do they? They don't like
Mm-hmm.
they don't. Most normal people, like some people, really do, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can see like you're bothered about it," but some people are just a bit like, "Oh right, yeah, that's cool," and you think, "Rude? Do you know how much
Yeah,
time I
excuse
put into
me.
this?"
Yeah, excuse me. How dare you?
Yeah, like you want more recognition from it, don't you? But I think for normies, like people who don't do strongman or understand it at all, they're just like, "Oh yeah, you won worlds. Oh yeah, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
cool." Like fucking hell, I've sacrificed my entire life for this.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. So you won worlds last year then. That was like trials and tribulations getting to that point, wasn't it? Do you want to expand a little bit more on how you got there?
Sure, yeah. So I've done UKNS and UK and Islands like since it started back in 2022, I think. And at every single competition that I have done in that pathway up until Worlds last year, I had always come second.
Yeah.
Always, like always come second. And that's, I cannot be mad at that. And I am not mad at that at all. Was very much happy because, there were some stacked people in those categories and like, obviously just needed to get a bit stronger and just work, just to try and get a little bit
Yeah.
stronger each time. And each time, the gap closed. It was always so up until last year. So in 2023 and 2022, it was Aneta
Yeah.
who was in the Opens. She was an absolute powerhouse. Came in so strong. So at the UK's, there was only the UK's in 2022. So she won that, and I came second to her, and she was
Hmm.
just incredible all day. And then in 2023, it was the same. We competed together in Galway, and she beat me And then at Worlds again, and the gaps were just getting that little bit smaller. Like I was
Yeah.
catching her up, which was exciting to see. And then she left the sport. I think she's had a family.
Yeah.
So when I came into UK's in 2024 last year, obviously competed against the incredible Anna Stelfox, who's
Yeah.
just, I had no idea who she was. She's just so incredibly strong, absolutely incredible, and came second to her at UK's at Chaos. And again, I was just like, it's fine. Like we'll work for Worlds. I didn't
Yeah.
have any other competitions that year apart from UK's and Worlds. I hadn't done the Scottish qualifier or anything like that. So I was like, right, okay, let's just focus on Worlds. And just it's just one of those things, I think, and I spoke to Ailey, who coaches me, about it as well. It's just one of those things where everything just kind of aligned on the day, apart from that
Yeah.
final keg that I was trying to load. I did nearly give everyone a heart attack with that, including myself. Everything else kind of aligned on the day. And, I just, is that thing of just like the game plan executed well. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, I couldn't have done any more. And
Yeah.
luckily what I did was enough for me to win. And it was really, really nice. And it was actually really touching for, like, people were so happy for me. And like,
Yeah.
I remember my family were just absolutely buzzing. They come to every competition that I do, and they were
Yeah.
just so excited. And it just felt really nice that finally, all of the kind of hard work had paid off, and I would finally manage to do it, and I'd won.
Yeah.
And it was really nice.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's such a cool story, like such a cool progression, and as well, like a good show that you don't like. Yeah, every now and then we get outliers like Anna Fox who like come out of nowhere, as we say, and
Mhm.
like just smash the sport. But then there's people like us who are like fucking, we're still here chipping away bit by bit, like over
Yeah.
and over again.
Yeah.
And I think you're just like a perfect example of that, like keeping that motivation and that like want to do it
Yeah.
all the way to see it through to the end. I think it's phenomenal. It's so cool. He's such an inspiration to people.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
we
it
got
was
we
it
got real
was
deep
really
there.
it was really nice, and like it was exciting as well, because I just like like was just an incredible competition as well, and the atmosphere like over the 2 days was just great. So to finish it off like that was really nice, and yeah, it was nice to just see all of that hard work pay off, and like, yeah, finally, like, it wasn't that I was incredible and like or anything like that, but it just everything
Everything came.
worked out, and it
Yeah,
just
everything fell
it
into
just
place.
aligned, and it
Yeah.
was it was very nice.
It's awesome. It's so cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's really interesting as well. So, like, at any point when you'd had those run-up competitions where you were coming second, did you ever feel like a bit demoralised? Like, oh, do you know what? Fuck this. Like, I can't be asked anymore.
A bit. It was more like, oh, for God's sake, like I keep letting people down, like, because I think Stephen described it as like I'd always been the bridesmaid. He's like, she's never been the
Yeah.
bride, and I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And yeah, I have. That's true. But I think it was especially at UK's last year. Um, it was such a good battle, like the whole day, and it all came down to the final event, which is always exciting as well. Like when
Yeah.
it's super tight and you just don't know who's gonna pip who. Um, and I didn't quite obviously manage to do it. And that in the run up to that, and it's like Stephen was super encouraging, and he was like, I think you can do it this year. I think you can do it this
Yeah.
year. And I just felt awful, like when it hadn't happened, and I felt really disappointed in myself. And I was just like, oh, like am I? Yeah, yet again, I've come second again. That's great.
Yeah.
Recognize that, but I was also like, whatever happened? Like I'm just not sure. Like, and that's okay, but like it would be really nice if I could just have just a little bit of like more
Yeah.
of a boost, and just try and get up into that first place spot. So I was a little bit going into prep for Worlds last year. I kind of lit the fire in me. I was like, right, well, I've got to work really hard on this prep and try and do as much as I can do,
Yeah.
and try and get, even if there were events that I was slightly weaker on, I was like, well, I just need to try and, work as hard as I can on those ones, so that I don't go in, because their circus dumbbell in the UK's was a weak event for me in that. I
Yeah.
hemorrhage points on that. Fine. I was like, right. Well, let's just try not to have a repeat of that. Try and go in as solid as I can,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see. So I think actually having had, having had that second place at UK's, it actually very much I was annoyed and like upset for probably the rest of that weekend, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
coming back into training being like, oh, okay. But then as soon as that prep started for Worlds, I was like, yeah, that right, let's go. Let's just see
Yeah.
what I can do. And we managed it. We pulled it off, and it
I
was
love
great.
that. It's like using the disappointment as like more motivation, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I love that
Mm.
because it shows like what like sort of stamp of person you are. Where you're like, no, actually, fuck that. Like, no, yeah, I'm upset, I'm annoyed. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. What am I going to do now though? I'm going to not let that happen again. I'm going to fucking make a change about it. I love that.
Yeah. It was good.
Awesome.
That's Ailey. That's Ailey. Like, she's honestly, I think she's some sort of miracle worker. She's like a wizard of some kind, because I honestly can't, sometimes I don't recognize like who I am as like an athlete from like back then to now. Like, I just
Yeah,
feel she's sneaky as well, like, just in the way that she trains me. I'm like, oh, I'm just not sure if I can do this. But then, when it actually comes to like comp, I've changed, like my mindset has changed a lot, and like
yeah,
I'm definitely better at like maintaining my emotions and all this sort of thing. So I think that also changed for Worlds. Like, I was just a bit more calm and just collect and just like kind of tried to keep as calm and zen as much as I could, to just be like, right,
yeah,
no, let's just, next event, next event, next event, and just try and treat it like that.
yeah. That's class.
Yeah.
She's such an underrated coach, Ailey, as well, isn't she? She's such
Uh,
a good strongman coach.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because
It
she
was,
also coaches your parents, doesn't she?
yeah, she does. So we started going to the gym all together, like way back, and Stephen coached us all. And then we realized that maybe Ailey would be a better fit for me, like because I was quite new to, like, I mean, I hadn't really done any sort of sport or anything when
Yeah,
I started. That maybe she would understand, because she also competes, and might have
yeah,
similar sort of like thought processes to me, and everything. So she started coaching me towards the end of, God, like, yeah, I think going into 2022, Ailey was already my coach. So I was still
yeah,
very new. So like my whole, yeah, UKNS and, natural strong women journey has been with Ailey, and
yeah,
she's fab. Like, she's honestly fab. But yeah, it's also nice because we train together quite a lot, and it's
yeah,
nice to kind of share the process with her. But then she's also competing as well. So like she understands, like we're all kind of all going through everything together. But the fact that
yeah,
she can compete and be my coach at the same time is the, like, obviously just at UK's a couple of weeks ago, she was competing, but then she was also there and like help, like, oh, how are you feeling for like the event that I've just
yeah,
finished? Like, how are you feeling for it? I think it's amazing that she can do both of those, and she's just, yeah, she's great at it. She's so
yeah.
great.
100%. I love that because I have the same thing with Molly. Obviously, Molly coaches
Mm-hmm.
me, and she sometimes competes a lot of the time at the same comps, and it's
Yeah.
so good. It must be awful for them being a coach and having clients and then competing like alongside them, because like I
Yeah.
couldn't even handle the stress of that myself. But it's
Yeah.
so nice having a coach there who's like your mate and stuff as well. When you're at a big
Yeah.
like comp, I remember World 2023 was the same for me. Molly was there. I was like trying so hard to make sure I was listening to everybody else's like problems and like be like useful. And then I was like, Molly, by the way, I need to talk to you about me. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be very selfish now. Please help me.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know how she does it either. Like, we've done a few competitions together, and whether her events, like, she's absolutely smashed it, or like maybe it's not gone as well, and then maybe I've had like a bit of a mare with one of the events, and I come like up to her being like, oh, that was terrible, like, and she has to also like control that and then also
Yeah,
focus on the next thing for her. Yeah, hats off to anybody who does that, because that is
absolutely.
hard.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with you there. Well, just good coaches in it. Just having good coaches makes the
Yeah.
world a difference. Well, right. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast then. So, what has been your? I've waffled on for ages there. Sorry, I took you right off track straight away.
No, love it.
Into chaos straight away. So anyway, what has been your strong woman high?
Yeah, right. I was thinking about this, and I was talking to, on the way down to Liverpool yesterday, I was talking about it, and my strong women high was 2 weeks ago when I won UK and Ireland, but Hope came second, and I got to share that podium with her, because that was, as cheesy as it sounds, actually such an amazing moment. Like,
Yeah.
having seen, like, trained with Hope for, however, like, basically, since she joined GBA, we've all been training together. Um, Obviously, she was in the 82s and I've always been in the Opens, but we've always trained together. Like,
Yeah.
we've done similar comps, like, traveled together, competed together. When she decided that she wanted to come up to the Opens, I honestly was so excited because I was like, I think this is going to be so much fun. We're just going to have so
Yeah.
much fun and it's just going to be great. And it has. I've had the best time and I'm continuing to have the best time. And it was just so nice um, to see all of that hard work for her pay off, because I know how
Hmm.
hard she works and she's a grafter and she's just so strong, and it was just so special. I, like, cried as soon as I knew from quite early on, like, she didn't want to know where she was, like, at the competition. She was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to know where I'm sitting, and I'm like, that's absolutely fine. But I knew from quite early on that she was sitting in a podium spot and she was pretty much going to stay there. And I was like, all right, I just need to. It took all of my, like, self control to not just blurt it out to her, being like, "Oh my god!" Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Not ruin it for her.
but she was like, "I really don't want to do it." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I promise. I promise." But, like, it was just so like, it was really special because I know how hard she'd worked, and I know that obviously this is her first UK and Ireland's in the higher weight category, like in the Opens, and she just absolutely smashed it. And
Yeah.
I was so proud of her, and it was just so nice to share that with her, and, like, that I was part of that. It was just
Yeah.
really nice. It was great.
That's so nice and heartwarming. You're too nice.
I
Your
know.
strong woman high is Hope doing well.
Yeah, yeah. Of course it is. It's great.
I love that. It's nice though, isn't it? It's class when you see your friends do better. What are you gonna do though when she gets better, if she gets better than you and beats you?
No, I'll still be happy, obviously. I'll just be like, great, you're smashing it, and me.
I wouldn't be that nice. No, see, I have the same thing with Emma. Obviously, I don't train with her a lot of the time, but I do train with her a little bit. But honestly, the day that she beats me, I think we'll probably not be friends anymore. Not even joking. She'll listen to this and she'll go, "Yeah."
Right, and I
we're
will.
both we're both on the same page. It's us being nemesis is also folded over with friendship at the moment. Nah, I love that. I was saying though to Hope on her podcast, you guys have got such a cool little training crew of people. Like, it's
Yeah.
such a good support system, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's great. And, like, even, like, just obviously yesterday when we were down in Liverpool, Aileen was competing in the lightweight masters, like, and, we all wanted to go down and support her and also, help out where we
Yeah.
could as well. And yeah, it's just so nice because we all know how hard each of us are working for each thing. So, you want to go and see them, go and do well and absolutely smash it. So yeah, I feel very lucky that the gym has this really, like, that we've formed this really tight knit, like, nice training group,
Yeah.
because it's not all only that, it's like your socializing time as well, because we spend so much time in the gym, so it's just,
Yeah.
it's great that we all get on so well because we spend so much time there.
Yeah.
And it's really nice, and I do feel very lucky that we have that. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. I always say this. If I lived in Edinburgh, I'd definitely be training with you guys all the time. I'd
absolutely.
be part of the crew. It's such a nice little training crew of people. You all seem to like get on dead well, and it's like it's just solid, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
realistically, I know there's obviously other drama going on around in strongman world around the sides, but you lot as a group don't really get involved. Which is a rare treat. Like, it's very contained, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, so much drama, but yeah, there we are, just doing our
Just
thing.
enjoying yourselves, all being really nice to each other. We're all around
What's
like
that?
burning
Oh my
on
god.
fire. Like, fucking hell, what the fuck is this sport? You guys are like, we're having
Oh
a
my
lovely
god.
time over
I know, it's great. Yeah, there's a bin fire over there, but we're having a great time.
here. Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. It's class.
Yeah, it
So
is.
good. Right, well, let's move on and ruin the good vibes then. What's been your strong woman low?
Yeah, but I was thinking about this. Like, luckily, touch wood, until I probably, like, go and injure myself. I haven't had any major injuries. Just watch, like, this prep for Worlds, I'll, like, kill myself or something. But so that's been good. So I was thinking. about like competitions and stuff that I'd done that like maybe I didn't enjoy and like stuff like that. And
Mm.
my standout one, and I always go on and harp on about this, and I feel we can talk about this, Becca, because you will share it, is I hated my ultimates competition that I did. I hated it.
Yes.
I did it in 2023, and it was honestly the only time where I have done a competition and I was like, I am just not enjoying anything about this. Like, why am I here? I could just go home actually and I wouldn't feel bad about it. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. And it was the only time, yeah, that I woke up and I was like, on the day off, and I was like, I could just
Nah.
not go. I could just not go, and I wouldn't feel bad about it because it
Yeah.
was just. I also it was one of my worst performances, but it wasn't like bad because of me. I just thought all of the events were like bad, and they just
Yeah.
didn't really showcase anything that I really enjoyed doing. And I know that
Hmm.
that's like, oh, I didn't enjoy it, therefore it's terrible. No, I don't want to be like super bratty about it, but like, you know, there was just,
Yeah.
you know, there was like event changes, like day of, you know, no, basically like no warm up. I cried a lot, which is not uncommon for me. People who know me know I cry a lot anyway, but I just didn't enjoy it. And it was the only time where I was like, yeah, like if this was it, like if this was all that I could do competition wise,
Mm.
I wouldn't compete at
Yeah.
all. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just, it wasn't enjoyable. And I just didn't, there were nice, you know, people competing and everything, but I felt like the organization of it, I just didn't feel very looked after and very like
Hmm.
appreciated. I felt like it was all obviously for the telly, but then we were also as women billed as the pre-show to the men who were then on in the afternoon. But
Yeah.
they're like, oh, but here you are, ladies. Like we've for your equality, you know, we've made your stone heights the same height as the men. And I'm like, well, why? None of
That
us
doesn't
are
make
over.
sense
Like, you know,
because
you've
we're
got
averagely smaller.
someone Lewis Jack's height loading to this barrel, and then you've got someone, you know, who's my height, like 5'6", loading to the
Yeah.
same height. Like that's not quality. And he was just Glenn Ross just made me feel very uncomfortable as well. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
So that's
With you on that.
probably that was like the lowest I think I'd felt, being like I could just like sack this off like right now, and
Yeah.
then that just made me feel like really bad. And I'm like, am I being appreciative? Like I'm obviously
Yeah.
very, you know, I qualified to go, cool, that was exciting, but then I just didn't like
Yeah.
it.
That's
Not
very
not
fair. One good thing that I guess you can say is, did you get a singlet?
I did. I've still got it. Yeah.
I really like mine.
Yeah.
I will say this, and everyone I've spoke to, that's one selling point that they've
That
got
is the
is the
selling point.
singlets are fucking good. We like them.
Yeah. Singlet
Keep.
and the knee high Cerberus socks as well.
Oh yeah,
The
you get a
green
free
ones.
pair of
Yeah.
socks,
Free pair
don't
of
you? Yeah.
socks.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
okay,
pretty
I
handy.
take it back. I like that I got the singlet and the socks, but
This is I'm getting at, because now we can go in full bore because we've given them a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, haven't we? We're like, we do like the singlets and the socks, but also all of this is shit. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, me and I've burnt my bridges there years ago, so I don't care what I say now. It makes no difference to
mm,
me. But that was always my biggest bugbear with the Ultimates, is a lot of the time you're getting billed as a pre-show, and I remember like on one of the posters or something, it was literally written as like, and pre-show to the men's, it's the strongest women, and you're like,
yeah.
I get that you need the men to sell the tickets. I totally understand that. I completely understand that. But you already have that audience there. They're
Yeah.
already going to buy the tickets. Putting us side by side surely won't mean there's going to be less tickets sold. I don't think people
Yeah.
like general hate women that much that they would go, oh, I really like Strongman. Oh, but they've got the fucking women on too. No,
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
for
Nah.
me. Like,
Cut it
and
off. No.
if that's what you're sort of thinking your audience is, then maybe you need to find other audience instead of just
Yeah.
appease them by going, oh, it's all right though, they're only a pre-show. Turn
Yeah.
up at 1 o'clock and you won't have to look at the women.
Exactly. Don't worry about it. They're only on for the first bit. Just don't come.
Yeah.
Nah. I just wasn't a fan. And if this means that I also never do an Ultimates comp again, fine. But
High
it
five for being
just
blacklisted.
it just like I don't know, it just yeah, it all felt I think we are like spoiled like in the natural or
Mm,
on the like on the natural side, like it's just great. You're treated great, the comps are great,
yeah.
everything's great. And then sometimes you go to do something else and you're like, like it's just not good. And I
Yeah.
just felt, yeah, like I just think it's really weird. Like, why would you change a event like the day of the competition when your athletes have already arrived? And it's just it just all felt really. I just really didn't enjoy it, and I just felt
Yeah,
terrible. And I feel like my kind of performance reflected that. I tried to be like
yeah,
as happy and like stuff as I could on the day, because they also want you to put on a performance because they're filming it, because
yeah,
they want you to go on telly, and it's just like, yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. And it was the only time, yeah, that I've been like, yeah, I could just not compete if this was it. But luckily it's
yeah.
not, because we've got other class federations that put on great competitions, but it was just overall like a really, really
Sour
crap.
experience.
Yeah, like it just
That's
kind
what
of
I
sours
feel
it all
like
for you.
about
It's just
them.
shit. And you're just like,
Yeah.
no
This is the
thanks.
thing. The standard of the comps are so high now, and even in grassroots now, like fucking hell, the car
Exactly.
park competition is nearly dead and gone. Like
Yeah.
we don't get that shit even at grassroots level now. You can go to
Yeah.
comps and it's really well set up. Like people have shit in order now. So
Yeah.
when your bigger comps, where like, and they do make you feel like a star. Like they film you, they do all your headshots. You've got your singlet on. Like it's super exciting, but
Hmm.
it's almost like they just use the fact that we're women, not the fact that we're athletes. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that bit gets forgetting. It's like, oh, we're just here. These women are here, and they're going to do some stuff for it, and we're going to film it because we have to for equality purposes now. But
Yeah.
the fact that we are actually athletes, and that's what needs to be showcased, just seems to be an unknown concept. I feel.
Yeah. Agree. Absolutely. It's just, yeah, I think it was the only time where I felt like being a female athlete was almost like not, yeah, like it wasn't impressive. And I was like,
Yeah,
but look how, like, you've got such strong women here, like that you have invited to compete at this competition. You've got Laura Baxter, and like you had like Izzy Tate, and like both of them
yeah,
have won like Scottish titles, they've broken records, all of this stuff, and yet here we are, you're billing them along with other really strong women who have been invited and have earned their place there as a pre-show to these men
yeah,
who are also, yes, very impressive, they're great, but let's not just like, don't say that you're treating us equally when actually what you're doing is just making us look weak, like look crap, because
weak. Yeah,
you're making us do stuff like to the same standard as the men who are taller, or like same heights as the men, or the same
yeah,
weights as the men, same distances. It's like that's not it. And it just really frustrated me, and it just kind of made me realize that in certain areas of the sport there is so much that still needs to like catch up. And I think that's where I
absolutely.
was maybe a little bit sheltered in my view, because I'd been doing other competitions in other places and gyms that were very much championing strong women.
Yeah, I
And
totally agree. It's a complete contrast, isn't it?
yeah,
I've never felt as a woman in any competition that I've done that I'm like subpar, or that I shouldn't be there, or
yeah,
that like I'm only there out of like a favor almost.
yeah,
And that ultimate comps really make you feel like you are like bloody hell. You've managed to pull some strings to get into here. Well done. How did these women slip past the net? How did they get in the front gates? Well, if you're here, then you must
yeah,
perform like monkeys.
yeah, yeah.
Like it, and because you just don't fit, it doesn't happen. It doesn't ever happen. Like I've done
Nah,
OSG and like loads of the official strongman stuff, loads of the natural strongman stuff. I've competed in nearly every fucking federation there is at this point, like
yeah.
apart from BNSF. But oh well. But like that's the only fed that I've ever competed in, like where I felt like I was only there because of like I don't know, just I wasn't. They didn't really want me there. I think that's
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah,
not that they just didn't really want me to be there, and like I
yeah.
don't think it's personal at
No,
all. I
no,
don't feel like it's personal. It's just they don't see us as a money making machine, and therefore we're not worth the time, which is fine. But just say that.
yeah, exactly. I think, like, I mean, this year, the Ultimate Women's was held. I mean, I don't know if anyone even turned up for it, but like the men's qualifier was in a gym through in kind of Paisley Way, and I think the women's
Yeah.
actual competition was going to be held on the same day. They weren't getting, like, this year they're not getting invited back to the
No.
big arena.
Well, I
Um.
don't think so. I was under the impression that there was no women's comps for Ultimate this year.
Oh
Nadine
wow.
Guy
Okay.
had said that apparently there is something happening in August
Oh,
at
okay.
like I think the men's UKs or something, but I'm not really sure what's happening there because I don't know
Mm,
who. in the nicest of ways. I don't know who'll compete for them anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh no, definitely. I know. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting then. Yeah, because
mm,
I was kind of like, oh, it's all just, seemed to kind of blow up like all of like a couple of years ago, like last year, like year before, or whatever, and then it's all kind of just disappeared. So yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I think if it does happen and they do invite athletes, and say you're a woman, and you're listening to this, and you get invited to this competition, I would never say don't do it.
Oh no,
I'd never say don't take the opportunity,
no.
but just be aware that this is the opportunity that you're going into, and
Yeah.
if that aligns with you and it works for you to push yourself forward, then 100%. Because that's the reason I did them. I did
Hmm.
them because I thought, well, this is going to push me forward
Yeah.
anyway. Like, I'll get Instagram followers, I'll get good
Yeah.
content, I'll be able
Hmm.
to sort of milk this for everything it's
Absolutely.
worth.
Yeah.
And like the payback wasn't great, but it was what it was. Whereas
Yeah.
now I know I've got other options for that. I don't need that payback, which is why I wouldn't compete in it again unless the circumstances changed a lot. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you're given that opportunity, I think it's great to go for it, but just,
Yeah.
just be aware.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Yeah. Would never ever say to anybody on like in any competition, don't, oh no, don't do that, don't do that. Absolutely go for it. I mean, for me, yeah, it was very much like a scouting exercise. I'd never competed in in this I hadn't
Yeah,
qualified for ultimates before. There was one up, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll give it a go. Also, it was more experience, like, try
yeah,
a different different gym, different people, like all this sort of thing. And then, I very much feel like, ticked it off, done one, probably
yeah.
won't do one again. Fine.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Done.
yeah, yeah.
Finished.
Sorted with that. No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah.
Leave it be.
Thanks. Bye.
Perfect. Right. Well, let's move on then. What would you say to yourself when you first started the sport?
um, I think I would be like, don't like, would you believe it? Like, you're gonna love the gym, because before I started, I honestly still thought of the gym as being somewhere that I didn't belong, or not like didn't belong, but like wouldn't be part of my sort of life. Like
Yeah,
I very much grew up at school not really doing too much sport. We were quite a sporty school, but it's that thing of, you join a team or because you kind of have to. So, played
yeah,
hockey at school, did swimming outside of school, but I never really competed at any sort of level at the sports. And I never really thought that the way I looked was quote unquote athletic.
yeah,
And I was not really like, no shade to anyone. That wasn't really made to feel like I was. Because strength and like measuring strength really wasn't something that we were doing.
yeah,
And it was more like, can you run and can you run laps, or can you do X, Y, and Z in this amount of time? And I was like not very much built for that.
yeah,
So kind of still I'm not the best at cardio. That's not a secret, but yeah, it was never something that I thought I would do. So sport wasn't something that kind of made up a lot of my like younger life. So when I did start doing exercise and stuff, I was kind of treating it as a way to get in shape, maybe like lose some weight, all this sort of thing. And then when I stumbled into the gym, when Stephen asked if I wanted to train at a gym, and I went in, I like completely blew my mind that there were women here of all kind of different, builds, abilities, shapes, like
yeah,
all lifting really, really like, impressive stuff, or just doing, more like body weight. So just doing what they wanted to do and like moving their bodies in a way that like made them happy, and
yeah,
they wanted to get stronger. And I just thought that was great. I was like, yeah, let's get strong. Let's not worry about like, if you want to exercise to lose weight, that's great. If you want to do it to get stronger, amazing. And, we're all just doing our own thing. And so when I first started, and if I was like looking back, just be like, you're going to love it. And you're going to actually be good at like something sporty. And you are actually potentially going to be you are athletic, like you can
yeah,
be, we get called athletes, which I sometimes laugh at, because I'm like, the last thing I thought I would be is like being called an athlete. I mean, come on. But it's incredible, and like, just keep going. You're going to meet some absolutely incredible people that become very important in your life, and like it just you're going to become really strong, and being strong is actually a really cool thing and a really good thing, and
Yeah.
something that now I think is very much more like obvious to us, like whether that's online
Yeah.
or like on the like, you know, somebody who looks like, you know, like Olympic weightlifting and all this sort of thing. When I was growing up, you watch the Olympics and you watch the weightlifting, like I just never felt like, you know, the women and everything, I never watched them. I don't know if like
Yeah.
they were there, obviously like people were there, but it was never really
Massively
publicized in the
pushed, was
same
it?
way.
Yeah.
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 And it's really cool because I think I do, you know, sometimes it's tricky when, you know, you look at the way, like I sometimes, you know, look at the way I look and I'm like, that's a bit, you know, meh. I could, if I could change this, I could change this. But then, you know, you remind yourself, you're like, yeah, but you can shift this amount of weight. You've
Yeah.
lifted this. You can do this. Like you've won this. You've competed at that. Like remember what your body is capable of.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think that would probably be it. It's just like, you know, your body is actually really, really impressive, and you're actually going to be able to do a lot with it and do incredible things, and like just
Yeah.
trust that. And that's actually like a good thing. Like it's actually okay to be good at something. Don't feel like apologetic for that. I think I also didn't when I was younger. Like I would feel embarrassed, or like I don't want to feel like I'm showing off or like doing stuff like, oh, I better like not do that because like what if people think I'm showing off? But actually
Yeah.
we're all just here to put on, like, you know, to do as well as we can do, and just embrace that and just go with it, and you're actually going to achieve some really good things, and you're going
Yeah.
to love the gym, which is absolutely mind-blowing because honestly couldn't have thought of a worse thing. If you told me, yeah, like, you know, oh, you're going to go and spend 4 days a week in a gym, I'd be like, what have I done?
What?
What
Why?
have I done to deserve this? This is terrible. But now
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm off to the gym and I'm going to
Yeah.
be
Love
there
it.
for hours. Like,
Yeah. Ah, fucking, I love that. How long have you been training for?
so I started going to the gym, I think it was 2021, I think. So
Fucking hell.
yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, because I started doing all like Stephen used to be part of Be Military Fit,
Hmm.
the like Bear Grylls thing, and like did all these like classes in like in Relief Park and stuff in Edinburgh, and like, you know, you do like it was very kind of cardio and weight based, like, you know, you do like runs with kettlebells and stuff, and it was all
Yeah.
kind of stuff like that. And my mum and her there was like a class for the slightly older
Yeah.
people if they wanted to, you know, a bit gentler. It wasn't quite so, you know, you're being shouted at by somebody who used to be in the army and you're doing military drills. It was a bit more chill.
Yeah.
So she started going with her friend, and then I think I was like, oh, this sounds good. Maybe I'll come along, you know, and start, you know, moving a bit. It would probably be good for me to do some exercise. So we started doing that, and Stephen was one of the instructors. And then he decided to open, you know, a gym, and he was like, oh, you know, to me and my parents, you know, if you know, if I open the gym, would you come along? And I think that was um before COVID that I was doing that. And then so I was in the gym, but I wasn't really doing like weight stuff. It was still quite
Yeah.
a lot of like, you know, machines and a little bit of weights. Like I think I like maybe did some like trap bar deadlifts and stuff, quite
Hmm.
light. But then it wasn't until we went into lockdown and everything, I decided I wanted to do weights. So we had like stuff given to us from like in the gym, like given to us at home, and I was still doing weights, but I didn't fully start doing Strongwoman until 2021.
Crazy. That's
Yeah.
wild. What a come up story as well. Because like really, you actually have come out of nowhere like, with zero
Yeah.
training background
Yeah.
whatsoever.
It's kind I think it is kind of mad. Like I think people who probably like, you know, who knew me at school, especially and stuff, like because I wasn't sporty, if they see me now, they're like, this is mad. Like,
Yeah.
where did this come from? And I'm like, I don't actually really know, because like especially with strength and stuff, if you're not in a gym or if you're not doing some sort of like sport or movement, how do you really know you're good at it? Like, do you just like lift
Yeah.
something one day and you're like, wow, that was really easy? Like, how do you
Yeah. Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
quantify it? You're like, so yeah, it was just kind of. I do remember Stephen being like, "Yeah, I think you could be good at this," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool. This is something I honestly never thought I would do, but it's just the best. It's the best thing. Like, it's great."
Yeah, it's so good. Just being it, like get promoting strength training to everybody is
Yeah,
important. Like
yeah,
just because it's so beneficial to everybody, but then being able to put people on paths like you've been on, like now, like
mm,
what an amazing turnaround. I was gonna say, one of my questions, I was writing them down while you were talking.
Mm,
How do you feel about like your body as you get stronger? Like from when, say, you first started training ever
mm.
to now, how do you feel about your body, and has your perception of your body and how comfortable you are in it changed?
Yeah, I would say so. I think I've definitely seen a change in my body, and like also yeah, I do look different. I think it's quite hard sometimes for you to like, because I don't really like track progress very much or anything.
Yeah,
But every so often I do, look back and you see pictures or whatever from like competitions from a wee while ago, and I can see that I've changed, like my body's changed, and like
yeah,
I'm carrying everything like slightly differently. I've got more, like my shoulders are maybe it's like slightly bigger, or um but I might also like not necessarily, like the weight might not be different, but like my
yeah,
composition is different, and like it's just quite nice to see, yeah, see the progression of that, because I still look kind of the same. Like, I haven't changed dramatically, but now I kind of view my body being like, yeah, and look how strong it is. And like,
yeah,
look how much, you can do with it. Not just like, oh, that's, I look a bit big. But you're like, yeah,
yeah,
I look big. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I look
yeah,
big. Like in a different way. Like, so yeah, it has changed, and I'm definitely like more. I'm getting definitely more confident. And also it's just nice. Again, I think that's just the community of like strong women in general, though, and strongman. But like it's very accepted. Like you, nobody really cares like if what you look like.
yeah,
You know, you're just you're all smashing your goals or whatever, and they're just like, yeah, you look really good, like you're doing what you need to do. Like if you want to like take your and do workouts in your sports bra, like you completely can, and that's something I never thought I'd be doing, and I have been doing it, and
yeah,
it's great. And like
yeah,
it's something that I'm still working on. Like it's something we talk about in the gym sometimes, just having that confidence to do it. But like ultimately everyone's just excited for you to do well, and nobody
yeah,
really cares. And I think
yeah,
that's something I need to you know think about, and I still do, is nobody really cares. So if you want
no,
to, if it's easier for you to do your sets in your sports bra, do it. Like fine, just
100%.
take it
Well,
off, wear some shorts if you want, it's hot, like put some
yeah,
shorts on if you want. So yeah, it's getting better, it's definitely getting better, and it again helps that I train in like one of the most encouraging, nice spaces
yeah,
ever. So that's also great. But it definitely has changed. I definitely think that when I was younger and like growing up, I did think that people judged me for how I looked, but they might probably weren't. But I felt that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I never thought that I looked impressive. Like even when I like played hockey at school, I was always like towards the back defense or goal, because they knew,
yeah,
oh, Rosslyn can't really run very far, so she can't really run up and down the pitch very much. So she'll stay at that end,
yeah,
and that's fine. I was good at that. Like it was fine, but it's just quite nice to know that everybody is like an athlete's body, like
yeah,
in this sort of space.
absolutely.
Like no, you don't have to look a certain way. Anybody can look the way they want, and I'm sure everyone who has like a six pack, great. I'm thrilled for you. That's obviously
Yeah,
not what I have, but we're all equally like great, and then we're just smashing everything, and we're all
yeah,
on our own paths. That's fine. I feel like it's very non-judgy, and I think
yeah,
it's important to not equate somebody who looks like amazing and then somebody who maybe looks like me as different. Like we're both like doing our own
yeah,
thing. That's fine, but we're both potentially, we're both athletes because we're both
yeah,
doing
just doing it
sport,
for different goals. Yeah,
but we're doing it for different goals. Exactly. So I wouldn't say, you know, it would make me really like sad if someone was like, oh yeah, but like she's not an athlete because she doesn't like have like super jack
yeah,
shoulders, and like she doesn't look like this and that, and I'm like, but I am, but just maybe in a different way to like other people.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
100%. I
it's
think
just
I find it so interesting because I feel very much the same. Like I think like when you're younger, especially, like there's such a big thing on people being like overweight and being like, oh well, they're not an athlete, they can't do this, or like when
yeah,
personal trainers are like a bit bigger and they're like, well, they can't be a personal trainer, blah blah, blah, they're not an athlete,
yeah,
and you think, yeah, I'm probably fucking stronger than you though, mate. Like
Yeah.
it's literally it doesn't, what you look like doesn't really show what your performance is. And I think that's the same when you're
Mhm.
saying about the gyms and stuff where people are judging you. If you want to train your sports bra and your shorts, that's the good thing about strongman, is because if you're doing that, no one's going to be looking at you and going, oh look, she's got tummy rolls there. They're going to be like, that sandbag back pick was shit. Why are you doing it like that? Why don't you try a different technique? Why don't you do this? They won't be looking at you actually as yourself. They'll be looking at your performance and judging you off of that, which in my
Yeah.
mind I feel much better about.
Yeah, yeah. Critique me on my technique on my sandbag. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's fine. Do that.
Not and
Not whether I'm looking a little bit like chunkier.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. But I do think that's another good part of strongman, is that happens like all the time. Like I don't think I've ever been in the gym where someone's like, people have come over to me and said, "Wow, that log rep was shit," but like no one's ever come over to me and said, "Oh, you're looking a bit like, oh, you don't look great. Oh,
yeah.
you can see your tummy roll with that sports bra on." I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly. And that's what I love about strong women. And like, I mean, sports in general, like everyone looks different. Like
yeah,
depending on what your sport is, everyone looks different. Like, and that's what I like. One of the main things that I loved about it when I first started was, I was looking around the gym and I remember, like Ailey was training strong women, Aileen, and then the girl Josie who used to train. They were all kind of competing around kind of under 64 at that
yeah,
time, and there they were like absolutely like annihilating like these weights, and I'm like, but you walk, if you were to look at all of us like in this gym and be like, yeah, she can deadlift this weight, she can press that above her head, and people will be like, wow, like that's incredible. And I just love that everybody just looks how they look, and they're
yeah,
all just great and strong, and it's just we're not judgy like
hundred
in that
percent.
sort of way and like superficial like about it. It's just that's what I liked about it, and I felt like it was very inclusive, and it was somewhere that I could just slot in, and you just start working towards your own goals, and we're all just cheering each other on and doing it together, and that's essentially what it is, and that's just
Yeah,
so nice. And I don't feel anybody's out to get anyone, being like, oh well,
no,
what can she do and what can she do, and I'm like, no, we're all just here enjoying each other's journeys, and everyone's getting stronger. It's great, and
hundred
we all look
percent.
slightly different, and
Yeah,
that's also great.
100%.
So
Well, it's like the thing of like, if all of us were just dressed normally and we weren't in a gym environment, and you ask somebody what
yeah,
sport do these people play, you'd have no
exactly.
fucking clue,
Yeah,
because it could be anybody
exactly.
stood there. Like it's that inclusive, because
Yeah,
it literally, you could look whatever the fuck you wanted, and no one would like say no. No one would be like, oh,
yeah,
you can't do it because you look like this. Like it's just completely inclusive in it. But that's why it's better than
exactly.
CrossFit.
Exactly. Agree.
Did you feel like then, as you was training, you were getting stronger? Did your mindset in like general day to day life change, and your confidence levels, like in work and stuff like that? Did you feel like as you got stronger, you were a bit more like, "Fuck yeah, let's go"?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Definitely like when I was younger and before I started training, and like again, like this is a trait that I remember from school. Like I was not confident like whatsoever, whether that be like in me or like just in general. Like I was just a bit like shy, but also just like very kind of like quick to like self-deprecate myself, and like I'm
Yeah,
still very much capable of that. There's nothing like a bit of self-deprecation, but like there's also part of me now that's like, oh no, actually I'm a bit more kind of like assertive, and I'm like, oh no no no, but like I'm actually like quite I'm quite good at this, and I'm
yeah,
getting better at being like, oh yeah, I actually am quite good at this, because like my first kind of instinct when someone compliments me is to be like, oh well, no, I don't know about that, or
yeah,
oh, you're
yeah,
really good at that, oh no, I'm not actually, when actually they're like, but you are, so just
yeah.
that's okay. It's okay to say like, yeah, you are
That
actually
you're good
good
at
at this. And I'm
something.
like, oh yeah, maybe
Yeah,
I can actually say that I'm good at something, and it's not me being like arrogant or being like, yeah, I am really good at this, but it's just, no, you're
yeah,
just confirming a fact, like you are good at this, like, and own that, and like that's good, that's a good thing, and like
hundred
people
percent.
want to compliment you, or like they want to you know say these nice things about you, and it's also okay to accept that. Like that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Because it's almost like I think, especially when you're younger, especially young girls, you're almost like you don't ever want to be too overconfident because then you're cocky and you're
Yeah,
arrogant, aren't you? And it's
exactly.
ingrained into you from a young
Yeah,
age to be like not able to like accept a compliment. But once you do
yeah,
start to do it, like I always think now, if people say something nice about me, great. Now I'm going to say something nice about you to share the love. Like
exactly. Yeah,
it's like once you've got that level, you break free of those like fucking bonds saying that you can't be nice about yourself. You're like
yeah,
fucking yes,
yeah.
let's go.
Exactly. That's why I love it. I love, like, honestly, like, that's why I love Strong Women as well. Is because I just feel like we're all so like we're all just so complimentary and nice to each other. Like,
Yeah,
we're supporting each other all the time. That's why I love competing, and that's why, or watching competitions, especially like in Strong Women. Like, you do see that sort of like genuine, you know, sharing of like,
yeah. Women actually
just
supporting women.
supporting each other. Exactly. And it's all like super genuine. I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
same. This is why I feel like I've stayed in this sport so long because I'm very
Yeah.
much like I like something for a year and then I'm like bored. See ya. And fucking hell, I've been here like 6 years now. I'm like, whoa, when's this obsession getting rid of me?
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell.
Yeah. No, it's the best. And like, yeah, like it's like, why would I want to leave? Everyone's so nice and like we're all
Yeah,
having a great time.
yeah.
Like, why would you want to leave?
Totally
Yeah.
agree. Nah, I fucking love it. Right, well, final bit then, because I've kept you for so long. I'm sorry. You're just too interesting. I had too many other questions. Have you got any strongman gossip or bugs to bear you would like to do at the end of the podcast? Feels like too nice for this section.
I don't I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's a bug. I mean, it's a bugbear, but it's not like just like if you're training somewhere, right? Can people just put stuff back? Like that's my biggest thing. Is like if you just
Yeah,
put
I
stuff
stand by
back,
this.
that's fine. That's good. Like especially if you're training somewhere like else as well. Like just put stuff back. That's fine.
Yeah,
Like I mean, it's very low key. That's not very
100%.
like, but it's very like, oh, can you? But like, can
No,
you? Can you just put stuff back? Like, it's not hard.
yeah,
So
I'm
that's
with
like,
you on that. It's fucking infuriating.
it's
Pisses
just
me off all the time.
gym etiquette, isn't it? Like, just put stuff back. I feel like that's such a like tame thing, but also like it really annoys me. So
Yeah, no, it annoys me. If I have to fucking move other bigger sandbags to get to my little sandbags, fucking furious. The session
exactly.
starts off bad because I'm already raging because I've had to do that. No, I
Yeah.
agree. That's a good bug to bear. I feel like, well, it's been mentioned on the podcast now, so now you know. If you're listening to this and you don't put your gym stuff away, you're going to get
Ugh,
it.
region. Do it.
Rosalind's going to come and get you.
She'll probably send you a very tentative message. Sorry to bother you.
A very passive aggressive message. I'm really sorry, but please next time. I won't. I'll tell you, fuck off. Nah, just kidding. Oh, well, right. Let's move on then to the silly goose, final section of the podcast.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
First of all, do you have a silly goose you would like to bring to the table?
I feel like I was a bit lax in the silly goose department, so I do not have anything to share. But
That's
I'm sure
fine.
you'll have something.
I do. I have a couple of points depending on how long
Ooh.
we talk about them. But my
Hmm.
first one is, so I've got a bit of a ghost theme going on at the moment.
Okay.
If ghosts can walk through walls, why do
Mhm.
they not fall through the floor? So,
That's
but also it could be like if they could walk through walls and rocks not an issue, then why are they not falling down to the center of the earth? Unless that's where all the dead people go.
yeah. What's gripping them to the floor?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know.
I hadn't even like
It's
actually
a
that I
conundrum
hadn't
now,
even
isn't it?
thought that hadn't I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, no, it's annoyed me. But there is at the moment the bakery that I work at in Bishop Auckland, they have
Yeah.
a ghost that lives in the bakery.
Mm. Okay.
And I'm desperate to go in and do a seance on TikTok Live just because I think it'll be
Yeah.
funny. Because I
Yeah.
want to see if the ghost is real. Because I'm not 100% sure that I believe in ghosts. I've not had
Hmm.
a close enough ghostly encounter to
Yeah.
think that I believe in them. I've had some like spooks. I've had some spookies, like,
Hmm.
but stuff that could always be explained by yes, a crazy circumstance, but definitely could be explained.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not. But that like I'll be honest, like I hadn't even thought about it. Like
Mm.
Yeah, why walls and not floors? What's
It doesn't.
what's gripping them to the floor? What's different about floors
I wonder whether they can just
or
decide that when
ground
you
or
turn into a ghost, you can pick and choose. I guess
yeah.
they're
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
would like to go through walls, please.
walls are good, floors no. They
Floors,
want to
no.
keep you
Would
up.
like to stay on the surface but go through
Yeah.
surfaces. I mean, to be
So
fair, I think I would do that if I was a ghost. I'd want to go through walls but stay on the floor. I think.
well, it'd be annoying. Imagine not being able to go up the stairs ever again. You'd only be able to haunt people in bungalows.
Oh yeah. Like, oh no, sorry,
Oh,
can't haunt
can't
you. Oh, you've
put me up there
caught
them
me.
stairs.
You've gone up the stairs, right? Well, that's me. That's
Fuck.
my haunting.
Can't
Then
do the
I'll go
haunting.
find someone else down the road that's in a studio or something that I can go and haunt.
Just haunting loads of old people in bungalows. It's like
Yeah.
so nasty, that, isn't it? Have you had any ghostly encounters? Do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, I'm definitely open to that. I haven't had very many. There's definitely been times where like I don't particularly like being in places on my own,
Mm.
especially if they're places that usually have other people in them. So like when I used to live with my parents and if they went away, I hated to kind of be left in the house on my own because you just become aware of like stuff and like there's definitely been some like noises and stuff where I'm like I feel like I'm not alone here. Like I feel like there's a
Yeah.
vibe and then you go down but then they're not there. But
Mm.
I haven't had too many to like solidify whether I do or
No, the
not. But
surety.
I am open. If it was to be that they did exist, I'd be like, fingers.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be flabbergasted by that news.
No, I don't feel like I would be, but thing is, if I know that they are real, my problem's going to be
Mm,
I've got too many questions and I know
yeah.
they can't be answered, which will just piss me off
Mm,
even more.
yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
closest I've come is the haunted house in Galway that we stay at when we do the Irish Strength Cup.
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
and we had like me and Emma and Molly, especially when we stayed there, we didn't have as much when we stayed with Ben and Nina, but when me and Molly and
Mm-hmm.
Emma were there on our own, well,
Yeah.
me and Emma, to be fair, so the one night there was definitely people walking around on the landing that weren't any of us because we were
Oh.
all in bed. So like we knew there was definitely footsteps about, and then on the
Mm.
final night the fire alarm went off when our cottage pie was cooked, but there was no smoke, just the fire alarm just randomly went off, but we had forgot to set a timer for the pie. So we went in and we were like, fuck, there's a fire. And then we're like, oh no, it's not.
Oh,
It's just a fire alarm. And yeah, we think the
it was
ghost
ready.
set it off.
It was
Yeah, to
ready.
tell
Oh
us
my
tea was
god, it was
ready.
ready.
Mm,
Wow.
yeah. So
That's
they're
yeah.
my conundrums, which sort of it's not enough for me to believe. It's not
No,
solid enough,
but
but it was a coincidence, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. That especially like
Mm,
that one about the fire alarm like would
yeah.
100% wouldn't surprise me at all. Oh my
No,
gosh.
but I'm going back there again this year, so I'll find
Oh,
out. But I'm going with Ben this time, so hopefully
okay.
I might try and bring a Ouija board. He'll kick off if I do that. He'll be fucking
Oh no,
furious.
yeah, just packing your kit bag and being like, oh yeah, Ouija board in there as well. Let's go.
I might do, like I take it to the castle and do a little Ouija board there. I feel like
Oh my God.
people are either really for or against Ouija boards as well. I talk about them as if it's a joke, but that's because I was born on Friday the 13th and nothing like this scares
Ah.
me. I feel like I have no fear. Like I'll smash a mirror at me. I don't give a fuck at all. But like, yeah, none of that bothers me. But sometimes when I bring up to people are like, oh
Oh,
no, you can't do.
no.
But what if
Oh,
the spirits can't go back where they're
oh.
from? I'm like, I don't fucking care. They obviously will because they're not here now, are they? Otherwise, that would be a problem that we're all dealing with already. Yeah,
Oh,
it's an
wow.
interesting point. Well, something
It
to
is.
think about for you
It
there,
is
Ros.
something to think about, yeah. And I will. I will think about it.
I will ponder this.
Great.
Brilliant. Right. Well, so if people want to find you and follow along with your journey, where can they find you?
So yeah, Instagram is probably the place for that. So I am at Rosslyn Cole on Instagram, and yes, basically that's where I post all of my. It's mostly just gym stuff, to be honest. That's basically what my Instagram has turned into. So yeah,
Nice.
that's where you can find me.
Solid. Any final words for the podcast before we sign off?
No, but just thanks for having me. And if you haven't decided to go into Strongwoman, but you're thinking you want to, I would highly recommend doing it. And it doesn't matter if you're not sporty or you haven't grown up sporty because you'll probably be great at it anyway.
Hell yeah. I love that. Absolutely mint way to end the podcast. Right, well, we'll tag you in the show notes below, so if you want to follow Rosslyn, you can do. And thank you very much for coming on the pod. Hope you all enjoyed listening along, and we will see you all on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Strongwoman Highs, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the podcast, then please give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you would like, we're also on buymeacoffee.com/strongwomanhighs. This is where you can send us tips, or you can also join our membership area, which is $5 a month or £4 a month. It's the silly gosling level. We'll post out any extra content that we get on there, and hopefully a few little free giveaways of things as well. The podcast currently doesn't cost a lot to run, which is what we're trying to keep it as, but we would like to be able to cover our costs, and also once those costs are covered, any profit that is made on Strongwoman Highs will be getting saved up and put into a pot for future Strongwoman competitions that we can sponsor. So if you have a Strongwoman competition that you'd like to be sponsored, or if you want to be on the podcast, then give us a shout, send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, anywhere else you can get us, and we'll get it sorted, because the more women that we can get on, the better. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye!